What was worse, it dawned on some of the more technologically advanced companies that there may have been ulterior motives behind the invitation to build new factories in China. Namely, their intellectual property was being exploited. Sometimes the process involved sophisticated means of reverse engineering, which were then improved through Chinese innovation. Other times it was through more straightforward means of IP theft. A burgeoning industry in China where one can find a counterfeit version of everything from dog food to college degrees. So for decades now, US companies have gone through the process of investing in China only to get burned. They failed to take into account the nature of the relationship between the Chinese state and enterprise, and paid a heavy price for glossing over the fact that China is not a free country. Having learned their lesson regarding the necessity to protect human rights in order to create a prosperous society, they turned tail and, like the prodigal son, came back to the US to wholeheartedly embrace American values and civil liberties. Right? Well, sadly, no. If one were to cast about for words that best describe corporate culture in the US since 2010, terms like patriotic and liberty-loving would be at the very bottom of the list. Instead, corporations have marched in lockstep with cancel culture, firing conservatives, punishing workers that do not toe their ideological line or follow their orders. They ideologically brainwash you through diversity training and classes to learn to recognize your bias. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. They're engaging in the kind of censorship that would make Xi Jinping blush. All of this represents an affront to American civil liberties and our values as a sane, cohesive, and modern society. Yet the corporate rhetoric has never been more frenzied. On top of that, multiple US politicians have either invested with China, slept with Chinese spies, or employed Chinese spies, all under the watchful auspices of our Federal Bureau of Investigation. Watch Lauren Boebert drop this bombshell.
And then the cherry on top. My colleague and 3-month presidential candidate from California, who is on the Intelligence Committee, slept with Fang Fang, a Chinese spy. Let me say that again. A member of Congress who receives classified briefings was sleeping with the enemy. This is unacceptable, and this would never be.
Time's expired, gentlemen.
Our chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, has treason on his speed dial with his direct line to the CCP military. Hunter Biden is on the CCP payroll, and Democrats, along with the Biden administration, have crafted huge payouts to China in their budget deals. We have Chinese spies in our military, our businesses, and our universities.